Hey guys, what's up? Welcome. So first, are we even on here? There we go. Welcome. So today is the last day of 2020. So happy New Year to you. And if you follow numerology at all, I do not know if you do, but this is a very good year. So 2026 is a 1 year. So we are ending a 9 year cycle, and 2026, a 1 year, is going to be a fantastic year for most people. It's a year of fresh starts, and it's a year of abundance, and it's a very good year. So it is good news for all of us, because I know I don't know a single person who hasn't had challenges, um, definitely over the last 9 years, for sure. That is some good news I'm bringing to you today, if you did not already know that. Now, for today's live, you guys chose to hear about what is the breakfast mistake that's keeping you stuck. So, as a woman in perimenopause and menopause, weight loss, the game has changed. And you've probably already noticed that. So there's some things at play here. So obviously our hormones are shifting. That is fact. Like that, it just is what it is. And that's okay. Like, we should be grateful we're getting older. But with these changes, it doesn't mean that all is lost. It simply means that we just need a different strategy. And what most women will do is, when you are gaining some weight, is you restrict, right? This is what we've been taught. And you want to cut calories, and you want to cut carbs, and you want to do intermittent fasting later and later in the day, and it's not working, and you're getting frustrated because you think nothing's going to work. And that's simply not true. At this age, our body is responding to signals. When we're eating, it's not so much about the calorie count of a food, it's about what is the signal that food is giving to our body. Is it signaling to give us cravings? Is it signaling to make us more hungry? Is it signaling to store fat? Or is it signaling to satisfy us so we don't have cravings? Is it signaling satiety so we don't have unnecessary hunger? And is it signaling to unlock fat loss and utilize our food as fuel instead of storing it as fat? And so this doesn't come down to the calorie count of a food, which is hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around, right? Because this is what we've been used to. It comes down to, what is the signal that that food is giving to our body? So that's what we want to focus on. And so mindset is a big one, because you got to recognize that I don't have to restrict so much, because I know that's the go-to. You know, eat less, burn more, like feel the burn, like whatever. Obviously, it doesn't work at this age, and it's exhausting. Like, nobody wants to do that. So what we want to focus on is, what is the signal that that food is giving to our body? And the first place to start, and this is the one we're going to talk about here today, is breakfast. So the breakfast mistake that is keeping you stuck. Number one, skipping breakfast. That mistake is keeping you stuck for sure. And I know intermittent fasting has been the buzz for several years, but here's the thing. Intermittent fasting can have some benefits for 25, 30, 35-year-old man. We are very biologically different, and it does not have the same effect. So when we are trying to apply the science of men, which most of this stuff has been studied on men, by the way, it's getting a little bit better now, but it has a long way to go. Women's bodies are not just little men. Like, chemically and biologically, physically, we're completely different beings, especially going into perimenopause and menopause. So we need to treat our bodies as such. And it doesn't mean more restriction, it just means a different approach. Now, the first one is breakfast. So when we are going in through peri and menopause, estrogen, progesterone start to fluctuate and decline. At the same time, cortisol, stress hormones, going up. Now, it's highest in the morning. What is the most stressful thing to the body? Not eating. It's creating more stress, creating more cortisol. So, simple solution. And I know a lot of women are eating healthy, and this is where the frustration comes in. You're like, I'm eating healthy, but I'm not losing weight, and I keep gaining weight. Well, what is eating healthy? Eating healthy and eating for fat loss are not necessarily the same thing. So eating healthy would be just having fruit for breakfast. Fruit's healthy, right? Oatmeal's healthy, lots of fiber. But those foods are not for fat loss at this age. And here's why. When our cortisol is highest in the morning, so first, Sorry, I'm talking very fast today. I think I'm excited because it's New Year's, but, and I tend to talk fast when I'm excited, but here we go, stick with me. So when we go into perimenopause and the cortisol is higher, so first I'm going to address intermittent fasting, then I'm going to address the type of breakfast foods. Intermittent fasting is not good for women at this age, and that is one of the big breakfast mistakes women are making, is because when our cortisol is higher in the morning, especially as women in perimenopause, and we are fasting, that is not making it better. In fact, that's making it worse. So even though you're not eating and you could be starving, you're making it worse, and you don't even have to. So what you want to do instead is you want to cut through that cortisol first thing in the morning by having breakfast, but not just any breakfast. You want to have a breakfast that balances your blood sugar, because when you balance your blood sugar, it cuts through the cortisol. But there's more, but wait, there's more. So number one mistake is you don't want to do intermittent fasting. That's a big non-breakfast mistake, because you want to cut through the cortisol. Second is your healthy breakfast, like I just referenced, is if you're having just fruit, well, fruit's healthy. If you're having just oatmeal, well, oatmeal's healthy. But guess what? They're just straight carbs. And even though they're healthy carbs, they're just a straight carb is not going to balance out your blood sugar adequately. So you need to be pairing that with proteins and some healthy fats. When you have this magic combination of carbs, protein, healthy fats, and the carbs are with fiber, of course, this is going to balance your blood sugar, which is going to cut through the cortisol. So we're winning already right there, because cortisol puts fat on the belly. So already we're winning. But there's more. You win even more by setting yourself up properly for the day with the right breakfast. That is going to help with things that women in perimenopause experience. You're probably experiencing more food cravings, probably experiencing more hunger. Maybe you're experiencing excessive hunger later in the afternoon, or extreme fatigue, and all these kind of stuff. These are all related to blood sugar. So when we balance the breakfast properly, it's setting you up for the day, but it's setting you up for the day in the way that you're not going to have those food cravings. So there's going to be no overeating because of the food cravings and just being miserable because you have food cravings. It's going to help with satiety. So you're not having unnecessary hunger. Like, it's going to help to balance your hunger hormones. And it's going to help with your energy levels, and it's going to help get you to your next meal. So obviously we need to look at each of the meals and some lifestyle factors. But to start, the breakfast is the important one. And it's one where a lot of women think they're doing the right thing, but it's actually not right for your body at this age. At this age, it is all about how is that food signaling to my body, because it's signaling for your body to have a reaction, and that could have a positive reaction or a negative reaction. And if it has a negative reaction, it's setting you up to tumble all day and live through misery and try to count calories and try to fast longer and fight through hunger with willpower and energy dips and all that kind of stuff and cravings. Or is it signaling properly that you're going to know, your body is going to signal to you when you've had enough to eat, you're not going to have any food cravings? Yes, that's possible. And your body is going to start releasing stored fat because you're giving it the right signals. Does that make sense? I hope that helps you guys. Happy New Year again. Now, if you would like personalized help with this to simplify weight loss for 2026, especially because it is a 1 year, and numerology is a very, very good upcoming year. Maybe this is your year to do something right for you. Applications are now open for January 2026, one-on-one personalized coaching. If you would like to apply for one of the spots, if you want to see if it's the right fit for you and what you're going through, you can send me a private DM and just say coaching. Say coaching. I'll know what it is, and we'll have a little conversation, figure out if this is the right fit for you. Or you can go to my bio and you can look for Thrive 45 Method one-to-one coaching. Either way, I look forward to talking to you soon, and I hope this helps you. Any questions, leave your comments below. And again, Happy New Year. I hope you have a good one. Bye.